Dewalt pallets suck. So remember the shorts video I made about the Dewalt pallet that I bought? That cost me $6,800? Let's talk about it. So I've been buying return pallets from Home Depot for about 3 years now. So this isn't my first time buying a pallet. But this is my first time buying a Dewalt pallet, so I didn't know what to expect. So let me show you guys what went wrong this time. When I first started buying pallets, I started off with 300 bucks. The first pallet I got was a sprinkler pallet. Didn't really think I would get too much profit out of it. What ended up happening is a lot bigger than what I expected. I actually ended up making 8 times the amount back on that single pallet. So my eyes became open to what could really be behind all of this. Slowly but surely, I ended up getting into Ryobi pallets, and there was also rigid inside of it. Started selling those, mainly the pre-owned tools. Started buying, selling, testing. Obviously, especially with pre-owned, you probably end up throwing away 30% of the tools that don't work. I've always looked at Milwaukee and Dewalt and said to myself, there's no way I'm going to be buying these pallets anytime soon. Most of my time was spent selling on eBay. Test it, list it, sell it, keep going. But eventually what ended up happening is the pace kind of started slowing down. As I got more tools, we were testing more, getting more stuff done. There fell a season where people didn't want to spend money. So I ended up getting onto Whatnot, and that opened a new door to completely move tools at a rate that I have never seen in my life. And when you're moving a lot of tools, you want to move quickly. Testing pre-owned items is going to slow you down big time. So I started buying the new stuff. I got into a decent rhythm, started buying all the new pallets, and what ended up happening is a few auctions I didn't actually see any Ryobi. Then, surprise, I saw a Dewalt pallet. So I usually know how much money I'm going to make out of a pallet just by looking at it. I've gotten down how to actually price out and see how much I'm going to make, but sometimes I get carried away. At $6,800, this pallet looked pretty appealing. It did seem kind of high on the price, but I ended up taking it. Usually when you get a pallet like this, you want to be careful not to buy a pallet that's full of garbage. Although it's new, sometimes there's items on there that are very specific. Sometimes having a large quantity of one single item is actually a good thing, but sometimes it's the opposite. I noticed a lot of small boxes on top of it and also kind of on the side. I thought, must be just brand new stuff. I'm hoping it's all kind of separate. You know, this one's going to have bits, this one's going to have this one's going to have that. When I started unloading the pallet, what I ended up finding is 264 pointing drywall knives. Drywall knives is very specific. I thought, all right, this should be able to sell on eBay. But looking on eBay, there was probably only 4 sales in the past month. That's a bad sign. When I ended up running the auction, there were some pretty decent items on there. One of the big items that was selling pretty well was the construction jack. Some of them sold for 90, some of them sold for 80, some of them sold for 50. But either way, the average wasn't too bad on the construction jacks. Everything else was a toss-up. Didn't know what was going to happen. The other big item on there was SDS Max bits. When you have a large quantity of those, being extremely specific, you got to make sure you sell it to the right people. And same thing going on eBay. There was almost no sales on it. If there was a sale, it would probably be less than 20 bucks. Now, don't get me wrong. Most of the time, I'm actually looking for a pallet that has a big quantity of brand new items. Most of those are extremely easy to sell. As long as they're selling consistently on eBay every single day, what ends up happening is do the job once and it sells all day long. But when the item doesn't sell well, you're kind of stuck. This pallet kind of had a decent variety, but most of the stuff on there was drywall knives. When you're stuck with drywall knives, you got to figure out a good plan to get rid of all of them. I ended up getting most of my money back, but I'm still losing at the moment. Having this many drywall knives still left, what I've been doing is selling these drywall knives one at a time on Whatnot shows. Whether it be Ryobi, Rigid, Milwaukee shows, I have the drywall knives sitting in the shop. I'm not going to be able to sell all 200 of them all at once, but I can sell a few here and there every single show, and eventually I can get some of my money back. But when you're trying to get your money back quickly and keep moving, This is a big problem because what ends up happening is you start wasting your time trying to get rid of all these items just to get your money back. Not all pallets are made the same. Most of the pallets are pretty good. Sometimes you get a bad pallet like this, and it's not necessarily bad. These items are brand new, but when these people load up these pallets, sometimes they don't care what they throw in there. And when you get stuck with this many drywall knives, it's kind of a big issue. The goal is always to get pallets and move them quickly. If you get stuck on them, if you start getting items that don't sell and you're losing money, you're not making your money back on the pallet, what'll actually happen is it'll actually slow you down. Unfortunately, as of right now, I have only made $5,800 back. $1,000 down is $1,000 I can't spend on another pallet. Until I sell all these drywall pointing knives and SDS Max bits, I am most likely still going to lose on this pallet. Even if I make my money back, I wasted it on the time spent trying to get rid of all of it. But that's just part of the game. I'm sure some of you guys are watching, never bought a pallet before in your life and thinking, man, these guys are rolling in cash. You know, they're probably quadrupling their money every time they buy a pallet. It's not always the case, and that is a very rare occasion to do that. Buying pallets is extremely hard. You got to be extremely picky, and if you're not picky, you are going to get screwed. Most people end up dropping completely out of the business before they even get started. I've made a decent amount of mistakes buying some pallets that are a waste of time, or I end up don't making my money back, but that's completely fine because there's other pallets that I've bought that have made me enough money to keep buying pallets and keep moving forward. Does this set me back a little bit? Yeah. Does it stop me completely from buying pallets? Absolutely not. As of right now, I just got word that I want a Milwaukee pallet. Until I get that pallet, I won't know. And again, this is a first for me. I have never bought a Milwaukee pallet, especially this expensive. Will I make my money back? Hopefully. Do I hope that this pallet is full of drywall knives? Absolutely not. As long as this pallet is full of items that are brand new, a good variety of tools and accessories, I think I'll do just fine. Is Dewalt as a brand garbage? I'll let you decide on that. But will this stop me from buying Dewalt pallets? Not necessarily. I will be a little bit more careful on making sure I don't buy a pallet full of drywall knives, but this definitely won't stop me from buying Dewalt pallets. Hopefully the next one will be a lot better. Buying pallets isn't always butterflies and rainbows. And tell me in the comments, has there been a pallet that you've made a big mistake on and how big that loss was? Or if you're interested in a drywall knife, let me know. I might shoot one your way. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as I am a fresh new channel and it does help me out. And hopefully I'll be making more videos like this, reviewing more pallets, showing you guys more items, and maybe giving you guys an idea of what it's like to actually sell pallets and sometimes losing. And as always, God bless.